How do you rank up faster and ultimately succeed as a competitive gamer? Well, first, let's consider how not to rank up faster. And honestly, this is probably what you're doing right now. So, to not improve as a competitive gamer, you should blindly move in a general direction, never knowing exactly what you want or how to achieve it. And this means aimlessly grinding and stumbling into skill plateaus. Now, to fix this, you might start setting goals. That way, you can identify what exactly you are trying to accomplish rather than aimlessly grinding. But chances are, even if you understand that goal setting is important, you're still probably doing it wrong. You might be setting goals like, I want to get to the next rank by next season. But these kind of goals rarely ever actually work. But on the flip side, research shows that when we set proper goals that align our desires with effective action, we are actually 3 times more likely to succeed, meaning you are 3 times more likely to reach your desired rank. So let's figure out why most goals fail and how to set better ones so that you can greatly increase your chances of ranking up and succeeding as a competitive gamer. So why should you set goals in the first place? Well, we know that goals give us a general direction and allow us to kind of measure our progress as we move towards our dreams. Now, you've also likely been told countless times that goals have a lot of benefits, and you might have even heard the standard lecture about goals needing to be SMART goals. But still, even after knowing that goals are helpful in general, most of us fail to apply it properly to gaming. Now, goal setting might come across as pretty straightforward. All you have to do is write down what you want to accomplish and then do it, right? Well, if you really want to make those goals a reality, there is actually a lot more to it, and a lot that performance psychology can teach you about the different goal setting approaches and how to best use them to climb the ranks. And if you're not setting goals properly, they can actually become the opposite. They can become a source of anxiety and disappointment that slowly ruins your desire to improve. So, why don't some goals work for us, and what techniques can we use to ensure that goals help us achieve our full gaming potential? Now, as you are setting goals and planning your competitive gaming pursuits, the last thing you want to be worried about is getting hacked. Whether that means losing your gaming accounts, getting your bank info stolen, or your hard drive wiped, viruses and hacks are pretty scary, which is why Trends Micro has sponsored this video. Now, their premium security suite has everything you need to stay safe online. And honestly, when it comes to online security, what you pay for is what you get. Meaning that if you're using some sort of free antivirus software, it's kind of like hiring a toddler to guard your life savings. It's not exactly a good choice. Now, I like the premium security suite because it's easy to use and really easy to understand. And if I've spent all my brain power making these videos, the last thing I want to do is some homework on how to properly use my computer's security software. But the premium security suite gives me a ton of powerful features in a way that's really easy and straightforward. With a few button clicks, I can protect my files from ransomware, optimize the performance of my computer, and run a quick security scan to ensure everything is safe. Now, if you want to check this out for yourself, you can use the link at the top of the description. Not only will it hook you up with a great deal, but it will also help support the channel. Now, what if reaching your performance goals was as simple as brushing your teeth? Now, what do I mean by this? Well, chances are you really didn't have to think twice about brushing your teeth this morning, nor did you have to put in a lot of thought and effort into it as you move the brush around. This is because brushing your teeth is an automatic habit. And that same mechanism of building automatic habits might just be the key to improving your skills faster. Now, habits expert James Clear explained in his book Atomic Habits that the most effective way to move towards our goals is through setting up a system of daily habits. Now imagine, instead of using willpower to get through all your training, including your game reviews and training your mechanical skills, you could instead rely on some simple habits to get you there, and doing so would feel like it requires no effort. So here is a step-by-step method that you can use to effectively turn any sort of daunting to-do list or training system into an easy system of habits that you can use to crush your goals with. Now, the first step is to write down your goals, and you want to make them relatively good goals. You don't need to overcomplicate the process, but just try to make them specific, measurable, and relatively challenging but achievable. For example, let's say that you want to get more kills per round in CSGO. Your stats right now show your average KPR score over the last year was around 0.54. But you want to boost that to 0.6 within the next 6 months. Now that's a relatively good goal because it's specific and it's time-based. Now the second step is to write down the daily behaviors you need in order to reach your goal and start making a list of these behaviors. In the case of improving your KPR, these could be spending an hour per day practicing your aim, spending 30 minutes per day doing a visualization and imagery training, and then spending 30 minutes per day exercising to ensure your body and mind stay healthy to support the training. Now, step 3 is to try and focus on maintaining these behaviors every day with the aim of turning them into habits. You may fail at them from time to time, but that's where the next step comes in. So step 4, the final step, is that at the end of each week, you need to rate each of these new habits in a score out of 10 based on how often and how well you did them. Now let's say, for example, that you stuck to regularly doing your aim practice and visualization training through the week. You then likely give your aiming practice and visualization scores of around 8 or 9 out of 10. But if you only ran one day this week, then you'd probably give yourself a 2 out of 10 for the exercise habit. Now, the benefit of this extra step is that you can still see when you have small wins. Now, a 2 out of 10 isn't very great, but it's better than saying you failed completely and pretending it's a 0 out of 10. Over time, that 2 out of 10 might grow to a 4 out of 10, a 5 out of 10, and so on. And of course, if you really struggle to stay consistent with any habits, you can recognize it and then perhaps enlist a friend or a coach to help you stay accountable. But of course, if you can stick to these 4 simple steps, over time you'll see significant growth. You might even turn that KPR, that kill per round, into something higher than 0.6. And after that, you can start setting even greater goals. Now, there are a number of amazing benefits to using this method to reach your goals. The first is that it shifts your mind from being outcome focused to being more process focused. Now, psychology tells us that there are 2 different kinds of goals: goals that are outcome based and goals that are process based. The goal of achieving a 0.6 KPR within 6 months is an outcome goal because it's an ideal outcome that you'd want to achieve sometime in the future. Similar outcome goals could be to win a certain number of games by the end of the season or climb 2 divisions from your current rank. Now, in order to effectively meet your outcome goals, you need to then set process goals as well. Process goals are the ideal ways to reach the desired outcome. Setting an outcome goal without setting up process goals is like knowing where your destination is but having no idea how to get there. In short, knowing your process is essential to reaching the outcome goals. So now you have a framework for setting goals and pursuing them more effectively. But honestly, this is where the biggest problem comes into play, and that's the problem of discipline. So how do we develop the discipline to build these habits that we need to succeed? Well, researchers Lally and Gardner express that habit formation largely has to do with how we set up our environments. And James Clear builds on this through a concept he calls friction. He defines friction as these small motivational factors in your environment that can make habit formation harder. A task that has a lot of friction is a task that requires several mini tasks to get through the main task. For example, let's say that you want to improve your aim using something like Aim Labs or Kovacs. But let's also say at this point you've been kind of procrastinating it. So when you go to sit down, you might look for small excuses not to actually train. Now, the first issue might be that you have to dig deep into your Steam library just to find the game. Then when you open it, you might have to go through an update. Then once that update's done, you might realize that you left your headphones in another room or that your roommate or sibling was borrowing them. So then you have to go out and go get it back. Now, according to James Clear, these kind of mini tasks can easily discourage us from doing the difficult task that we want to turn into a habit. And obviously, they can also eat into that time that we should be productive with. So you need to figure out how you can decrease friction in every way so that you can practice efficiently. For example, you might decide that in order to reduce friction for aim training, you'll put a desktop shortcut of the game right on your desktop. Then you'll also perhaps turn on auto updates so that it's always updated and you never have to wait. And you might also have a second pair of headphones just in case the other ones are being borrowed. Now, whatever it takes for you, the key is to figure out what your moments of friction are and try to reduce them and get rid of them as much as possible. Now, another method for improving your level of discipline is to use something called the switch on method. Psychologists say that habits can be learned quickly if you can switch them on through using familiar rituals, objects, or environments. Now, it isn't easy to learn a new habit if you're always trying it at a different time of the day or a different location or even with different people. Therefore, it's important to keep your environments and routines constant because this helps make difficult tasks easier to adapt and to learn quicker. For example, pro basketball players do the same repetitive routines before every free throw, or even pro esports players have the same kind of pre-game warm-up routines. And these kind of things help them get into the zone and to stay disciplined. So how can you kind of get into the zone and switch your brain into practice mode? Maybe before every time you train, you want to make a ritual of making some tea or coffee. Or perhaps you like even wearing your favorite merch from your favorite pro esports team. In my opinion, one of the best sort of rituals and routines to build is actually meditation. And I've mentioned this in past videos, so definitely be sure to go back and watch those. But something like meditation or even spending 60 seconds of doing a specific breathing exercise can help you kind of get zoned in and switch you into that mode of training. Building the discipline for effective training habits can be extremely tough at first. But believe me when I say it's one of the most rewarding things that you can do. Taking these small steps will make all the difference between you ultimately being a good player or one of the greats. It could also be the difference between a long and successful career or a 2-year career that quickly fizzles out. So I want to challenge you to start writing down those goals and working on those habits as soon as this video ends. Commitments are strong if we share them with others, so consider anyone who can keep you accountable to it. That might be a friend, a team member, or even a coach that can help you stay on task and build those habits effectively. And ultimately, as you build the discipline and the pro-level habits that you need to improve, you will not only rank up faster, but you will finally put yourself on the fast track to succeed in esports. Hey guys, I hope you absolutely loved this video, and if you have the desire to become a high-level esports player but feel like you're wasting your time with poor training methods and ranking up way too slowly, then I highly recommend checking out our Esports Elite course. It's designed to teach you how to train like a pro so that you can make massive amounts of improvements in just a few months. It includes over 50 short videos that go far beyond the tips mentioned in any of our YouTube videos, and combines scientific research on how to enhance your motor skills and game sense, as well as develop a pro-level mindset. It then combines all of this information into a 66-day challenge that you can use to rank up much faster. And recently, we actually revamped the entire course, adding new drills, activities, a VOD review feature, and more to help you improve and succeed in esports. So if you want to improve your mechanical skills and game knowledge over the next 66 days, then join now using the link in the description. And of course, I hope you guys absolutely loved this video. I hope it's worth a like and comment from you. And I hope you take away something new so that you can keep on improving and grinding and make a lot more progress. And of course, I'll see you all in the next video.